There's this huge part of our healthcare system that millions of people depend on every single day, but most of us never even see it. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on the incredibly complex and often kind of broken world of medical transportation. Think about that. For millions of people, this isn't just some hypothetical question. It's their reality. Having a critical doctor's appointment but no reliable way to get there. That is the exact problem that non-emergency medical transportation, or NEMT, was created to solve. And just to be super clear, we're not talking about ambulances with sirens blaring. NMT is a different kind of lifeline. It's all about making sure vulnerable patients can get to the consistent care they need to manage their health. It's really the logistical engine for so much preventative and ongoing treatment. So let's talk about just how vital this service really is. Because this isn't about convenience, not at all. For so many people, this is truly about survival. I mean, picture this. You're a patient going through chemotherapy, or maybe you need dialysis 3 times a week just to live. A missed ride isn't just some small hassle. It's a direct threat to your health. NMET is the service that makes that consistent, life-saving care even possible. But here's the real issue we're digging into. This absolutely essential lifeline, well, it's starting to fray. It's being stretched to its limits. The demand for these rides is just exploding, but the system itself is really struggling to keep up. And wow, this slide just says it all, doesn't it? We have a 21st century problem being managed with like 20th century tools. Can you just imagine trying to coordinate hundreds of different trips a day, each with its own special patient needs, using nothing but a telephone and a spreadsheet? It is a total recipe for chaos. So this chaos, it isn't random. It actually comes from 5 very specific interconnected challenges that are pushing the old school NEMT model right to its breaking point. Let's break them down. Now, the thing to remember here is that these 5 pressures, coordination, compliance, costs, no-shows, and data, they're all tied together. When one thing goes wrong, it creates this domino effect that messes everything else up. So let's start with coordination. Okay, first step, coordination chaos. We're talking about dispatchers who are literally juggling constantly changing schedules, special needs like wheelchair-accessible vans, and really specific pickup times. When you try to do all that by hand, mistakes are pretty much guaranteed, and that leads to missed appointments and, of course, really frustrated patients. Next up, compliance nightmares. NEMT providers have to follow some super strict rules from programs like Medicaid, not to mention privacy laws like HIPAA. Every single trip has to have a perfect, verifiable paper trail. If it doesn't, providers get hit with these incredibly stressful audits, and they could even lose their license to operate. Then you've got the money problems. Gas prices are all over the place, insurance premiums are through the roof, so costs are always going up, but the amount they get paid for each ride often stays the same. With these razor-thin margins, they can't afford a single wasted mile, but their old systems give them no way to even spot where that waste is happening. The fourth pressure? Patient no-shows. Look, if a patient has no idea when their ride is actually showing up, they might not be ready. And a single no-show isn't just one missed appointment. It creates this whole ripple effect of wasted time and money for the driver, and it takes up a spot that another patient desperately needed. It just drives up costs for everybody. And finally, we have data blind spots. When your schedule is in one system, your billing is in another, and your trip reports are somewhere else entirely, well, you can't see the big picture. You have no idea which routes are making you money or where your biggest delays are coming from. You're basically flying blind. So, with all of this pressure, how does a system like this even survive? Well, it evolves. It has to. And that evolution is all thanks to a digital transformation. The solution, really, in one word, is automation. So what's so cool about this slide is the contrast. Instead of all those chaotic phone calls, modern software uses smart algorithms to automatically assign the perfect driver and vehicle to the right trip. It looks at traffic, location, patient needs, like if they need a wheelchair lift, all in real time. The chaos just gets replaced by this calm, quiet efficiency. And check out how this deals with that compliance nightmare. All those messy paper logs, they're replaced with a perfect, tamper-proof digital record. Every single pickup and drop-off is time-stamped and verified with GPS. Suddenly, an audit goes from digging through filing cabinets for weeks to just clicking a button and running a report. And what about those razor-thin margins? Automation tackles that problem head-on. The software finds the most efficient routes possible, which cuts way down on fuel and vehicle wear and tear. Plus, it automates the billing based on those digitally verified trips, which means way fewer errors and faster, more reliable payments. And maybe the most important part of all is how this tech completely changes things for the patient. All that anxiety of just waiting and wondering where your ride is, gone. Now patients get automatic text alerts when their driver is on the way, and they can even track the car on a map just like you would with Uber or Lyft. It gives them back a feeling of control. And this quote from the source material just sums it up perfectly. This constant, clear communication is the absolute key. When patients know what's going on, they're ready to go. And that simple change dramatically cuts down on no-shows, making the entire system work better for everyone involved. So when you put all of this together, what's the ultimate result? It's not just about making the logistics better. It's about creating a fundamentally better way to deliver healthcare. Really, the big takeaway here is that everybody wins. Patients get a service that's way more reliable, one they can actually count on. Drivers get more efficient schedules with a lot less wasted time. Regulators get the perfect, clean data they need. And the providers, they can finally build a business that's sustainable and even profitable. And that's the point that we really have to land on. Adopting this kind of technology isn't just about swapping out a spreadsheet for an app. It's a massive structural shift. It's about weaving this once hidden logistical network right into the fabric of modern, efficient healthcare. It kind of makes you wonder, right? If we can use smart technology to fix this vital service, what other hidden, overlooked corners of our healthcare system are just sitting there waiting for a similar transformation?